What the f*** is this piece of shit?
Hello there guys, gals, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Leipaladin. I'm back, had a little hiatus, I've been slightly busy, more of that in the outro, but new Halo game announced! Incoming breaking news! Halo Infinite 2 is coming out! 2, Electric Boogaloo, new game, 343, Halo Unreal, oh my god, there's so much stuff happening! Nah, in all seriousness though, a lot of people have been making videos lately about the chance of there being a new Halo game. A sequel to Infinite that will essentially scrap the whole 10-year live service plan that Infinite was going to be at the center of. It's become apparent to a lot of people that Infinite is really not a sturdy foundation going forward for the next decade. So, what information do we have that points to this being the case? That a new Halo game is on the horizon? Well, 343's lack of interest in Infinite, evident by the practically non-existent updates, no monthly drop pods, and the content pipeline being ridiculously slow, indicating that resources might be spread thinly. No love being put into arguably the most profitable part of the game, the shop. This quote from Brad Sands. No! Sams, not Sands, you filthy degenerates. A credible insider who points to Infinite being a flop for Microsoft from a fiscal standpoint.
It also is not living up to the financial side either. Almost universally is not meeting expectation. It has been a slow slog of poor announcements and releases.
New upper management at 343, Microsoft trademarking the name Halo the Endless, with the copyright patent for it being updated to include some interesting key phrases that sound closer to it being a full game rather than a campaign DLC as previously theorized. The rumored Halo Battle Royale developed by Certain Affinity called Tatanka, moving to the Unreal Engine and not being made on Slipspace anymore, and actually a lot of stuff leaking about the next mainline Halo game being made on Unreal, and a bunch of miscellaneous quotes that marginally hint at there being another Halo experience in the works.
The stuff that we've got, up and running today the players can play, and of course stuff that we're working on behind the scenes, the next evolution in multiplayer and campaign as well. So a lot of different teams working on a lot of different stuff.
What the flying f*** is going on? I go away for 2 weeks, I come back. Where did all this come from? There's been so many rumors and leaks within the last month, some substantiated and some that aren't, that all seem to point to Infinite being dropped. Forge could potentially be the last major content offering for Infinite, with the game seeing less and less support as time goes on, likely as a result of 343 prioritizing resources away from Infinite's post-launch content offerings and more on a brand new game. This would further line up with the rumor that Tatanka is being further delayed and developed on Unreal Engine, as what's really the point of releasing a battle royale that ties into an old game on an older engine? This could all be bollocks though. I want to stress that, alright? With any rumor, I highly encourage you to take it all with a grain of salt and not believe that this is what's going to happen next. However, I do have some questions that I want to pose to you all as Halo fans about this next hypothetical game in the series, make a few arguments for and against the idea, and most importantly ask the question, does 343 even deserve to make another Halo game? Because from where I'm standing, it seems like they're kind of screwed no matter which way they choose to go. We all know 343's prior history with Halo, I'm not gonna bore you with that shit again, but in summary, Halo 4,
it is what it is.
Halo 5,
it's the biggest piece of dog shit,
and Halo Infinite.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Each of their subsequent games have fallen further and further down the rankings for me, with one thing remaining a constant. 343 really haven't learnt a thing. The old mantra of 3 steps forward, 4 steps back is relevant in this situation because with each game that 343 release, they seem to get worse. Halo 4 was, in my opinion, a solid game overall. It was fun, it was replayable, which is the most important part, and had a lot of content, but the multiplayer was not to many people's liking. In Halo 5, it was almost the opposite. The multiplayer was brought back in line with what a lot of people expected from a Halo game, but at the cost of literally everything else. And Infinite, while it was a general improvement in the campaign department, and aesthetically the game was much better, it repeated many of the mistakes that Halo 5 made, and then somehow added more on top of that. Just for your consideration, Yeah, theatre is scuffed, custom games are scuffed, PC performance is scuffed, and while the multiplayer has been well received, it doesn't matter because the game's networking aspect is scuffed. Desync, egregiously bad lag compensation, random packet loss, and seemingly no fix in sight for any of it. Oh, and did I mention the strict skill-based matchmaking that makes finding matches in certain parts of the world almost impossible? A good multiplayer doesn't matter if you can't play it. But despite all of that, I, and many others, maintain some tiny, probably false inkling of hope that Infinite might get better one day, as the game has so much potential. If 343 really are going to make another Halo game, they need to fix Infinite first. They need to give this game a chance to be something more in the eyes of people than a broken disappointment, burdened with countless delays and false promises, because that's what it is. When I hear the word Infinite, and I'm sure this is probably applicable to a lot of people as well, I don't think of a fun new addition to the Halo series. I think of the missed opportunities and how great the game should have been. That seems to be the general consensus online just about everywhere I look, especially by more prolific content creators and influencers, and no doubt their opinion is going to rub off on the masses. This isn't the kind of reputation that you should leave a game with before buggering off to make something else. By making Infinite content complete, loosening the grip that SBMM has on the game, and in turn adding more social features, fixing the networking issues, and general improvements to the game's stability, Infinite has the potential to be a top 5 Halo game in my opinion. Top 6, top 7, I mean somewhere along there, right? Coupled with a multi-pronged marketing push to draw attention to the game once again, and I mean something with a little more effort than a few 10-second trailers with someone walking towards the camera aimlessly firing their gun, and Infinite could make something of a comeback. Not to the heights it reached at launch, but something healthier than the dry patch we're in now. Infinite deserves better, and should be given the chance to live out its anime redemption arc before being left by the wayside, is what I'm trying to say. The problem is though, I can't see 343 doing that without all hands on deck, as evidenced by them being unable to fix desync and other networking issues because the entirety of their networking team was put onto co-op campaign and getting that to work. They can't seem to multitask, either because their teams are too small or these issues are so difficult to overcome that they need everyone on board to fix them. And currently, if huge chunks of the various dev teams are being reallocated to work on another Halo title, one on a brand new engine too, from the ground up no less, then I can't see that happening. The team is so ludicrously understaffed, and with a hiring freeze imposed on them by Microsoft too, there's no way they could possibly manage to make a new Halo title while still continuing support for an already existing one. At least not in a meaningful way, and not in the way that many are asking for. The whole new engine thing has me concerned but also optimistic in some ways. Unreal Engine 5 is a very impressive feat of engineering and will no doubt allow the developers at 343 to create a visually breathtaking game, and could make the release of post-launch content much easier to manage without worrying about a congested pipeline, which seems to be the predicament that they're currently in. Many would pin this on the Slipspace engine and its old Blam engine heritage, which is definitely showing its age, but it's also the Blam engine that gives Halo its... I'm gonna use the fucking word! Iconic feel. Every Halo game has this feeling of consistency that's kind of hard to pin down. It's not something you can describe with words per se, it's more of a feeling. It's everything about the game. The physics, the way your player moves, the satisfying kick of each weapon, and the gratification you get when the enemy ragdolls on the floor when you've popped that last shot in between their eyes. Imagine how difficult it'll be to capture that same feeling but without anything to base it off. No old code to look back at for reference or build upon. No little quirks of the old engine left behind. It also concerns me because Unreal Engine just seems to be taking over the world, with countless dev teams moving over to it for their remasters or sequels or brand new games, some of which tend to feel a little generic. Could Halo fall into a similar trap and play like another bog-standard Unreal Engine experience, with a Halo skin crudely tacked on? I don't know, and we'll likely never know till we play it, but it's just something to keep in mind. Ultimately, this is my opinion on the matter. If 343 are really planning on releasing a new Halo game, they're gonna lose any shred of respect that I had left for them, which already wasn't a lot. You can't release a Halo game like Infinite and expect me to get excited for another game, and I think a lot of people would feel the same way. You can't just drop a game with over half a decade of hype in this dire of a state and then just say, fuck it, let's try again. The bigger question that I should pose to you all is, would you even be interested in buying another Halo game from 343? Because to me, it doesn't feel like they've earned that chance yet. There's no goodwill for them currently, and their history of screw-ups, can we really trust them to get it right this time? I mean, fool me once, shame on me. No, hold on, what is it? Fuck, literally the easiest quote I could have said, and I fucked it up. How did I manage that? With each game they've made, some things have gotten better. I won't deny that. While more things have gotten worse. It took them 6 years to make Infinite. God, I sound like a broken record. With a majority of that time being dedicated to work on the Slipspace engine, which in reality amounted to almost nothing at all. How long would it take them to build something entirely from the ground up on the Unreal Engine? What would make Halo game number, Combat Evolved Anniversary, Halo 4, MCC, Halo 5 Infinite, Halo game number 6 under their watch, different from the others they've worked on? New management and Joe Staten as creative lead, sure, but 343 Industries is still 343 Industries. It's not the developers within the team that I think most people are concerned about, it's the title. There's this ominous cloud looming over the company's name, and it's been raining for a damn long time. I feel as though 343 have still got a long way to go before people are willing to take another chance on them, and for us to finally see a bit of blue sky. And in my opinion, that parting of the clouds will only begin to happen when Halo Infinite is truly fixed. Well, I almost completely forgot to write an outro, let alone record one, so I'm gonna do it now. I apologize for not uploading in close to 3 weeks, but I started a new job recently. I've been really busy with that and going in basically every day and doing a lot of the training and stuff. So my upload schedule has been thrown a bit out of whack, but there are some videos in the works. Some of them Halo related, some of them not, and I'll do you guys a little deal, alright? If we can hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I will release Why We Love the Music of Halo Part 2. Alright, dead ass. I'll do it. I'll make the video. I've got like half a script written up, but only if we reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you want to see it, you better chuck a sub. You wouldn't. You're way scared.